Hi everybody, Lev here with the Tips team. Today we're going to explore Google Folders and Share Drives as part of today's after-school tech tip. Before we jump into today's topic, remember to hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and be sure to swing by each week for a fresh new after-school tech tip video. If you want to connect with the Tips team and explore our team's technology information, processes, and the playlists we offer, be sure to visit us at tips.epsb.ca. So folks, let's begin by outlining the purpose of today's session. So for this tutorial, we're going to explore a few key concepts. First, we're going to focus on identifying and distinguishing folders and share drives. Second, we'll look at identifying ownership and permissions between both storage types. Ultimately, our goal is to help you in utilizing these tools with ease. So to get us started, let's ask ourselves, what exactly is Google Drive and where can I find it? So you can navigate to it using the URL drive.google.com. A common question we get is, well, what can I do in my EPSB Google Drive? Let's look at some of those parameters together. So it's important to know that all division staff have access to Google Drive, and the screenshot that you see here showcases your personal drive within the division. But what is it exactly? So Google Drive is a cloud storage and collaborative platform. It serves as a central hub for storing, accessing, editing, and sharing files across devices. So this could be web-based, your Chrome OS device, desktop, and of course, mobile devices. So as you can see here in the screenshot, I have folders, documents, and files that have been shared with me directly or items that I've created myself. Just a quick note on the privacy default. So by default, every file and folder created here is private to you unless you explicitly share it with somebody else. So to help store documentation, Google Drive provides division staff with the option of storing files in one of two ways, through a folder or a shared drive. So another question we get is, well, what can I do with my division Google Drive? Well, when it comes to ownership, the files are owned by the individual creator, but retained by Edmonton Public Schools. So for access control, the files must be shared manually with individuals or groups within, or they also can be shared outside of the division. It's important to note that if a staff member leaves the division and their account is deleted, the files they own may vanish for everybody else, even if they were in a shared folder. So what can a folder do exactly for ourselves? So with keeping those risks in mind, let's dive into the question, what are folders? So folders are essentially a personal organizational tool where you can own and control the files because they are tied to your individual account. They operate on a bottom-up control, so you can share a single file, a subfolder, or a main folder. However, it's important to note that this process requires a lot of micromanagement on your part. So it's going to require you to manually type in email addresses and also to share links every time you want to share a resource outside of a shared folder. Any file or folder that is shared with you with your division email address will appear immediately in your Google Drive. So you can store files, upload or embed file types within the Google workspace. So this could include things like your docs, slides, sheets, Google Vids, and you can also create subfolders to keep yourself organized. So for organization, you can move files to folders and also folders within other folders within your drive. So now let's look into the process of creating Google folders. So to do this, your first step is going to be to select New and then click New Folder. Next, assign it a name and then click Create. Once you're done, the folder will appear in your Google Drive. Moving on to specific Google folder permissions, to begin managing access, right-click on your folder. From the menu, click Share. If there are open sharing permissions that are already set, you can simply copy and paste the folder link accordingly. Now let's just do a bit of a deeper dive into the Google folder permissions. So you have the option for granular sharing, so that's typing individual names or distribution lists within the division. But you also have the option for that broad sharing. So this allows you to share with established group settings. So some of you might be familiar with the division defaults such as EPS or EPS staff only, and of course anyone with the link, which we'll look into next. When you select the General Access button, you're given three broad choices. The first is EPS staff only, so this is all division staff. The second one is EPS, so this includes all student and adult groups in the division. And the third is anyone with the link, so that basically gives an open-ended global access. Now let's move on to the share drives. What are share drives exactly? So these drives are team storage hubs, which are owned by the division, but they exist within the Google ecosystem. So when staff move to other positions or schools and are detached from that location, their access to the shared drive is automatically revoked. So despite this individual access changing, a huge benefit is that the files themselves will stay permanently available to the rest of your team, regardless of your staff turnover, transitioning to other schools, and so on. So it utilizes more of a top-down control, meaning permissions set at the shared drive level apply to everything that's inside of it. So just like personal folders, you can still organize folders by moving files into folders and folders into other folders within the shared drive, depending on the permissions that are set for you and your staff. Any shared drive you create will stay within your profile unless you remove yourself from that drive or transfer ownership of it. So when we're creating our actual shared drives, here is a very simple process for creating your very own shared drive. So the first thing you're going to do is select the shared drive button, as you can see in the top graphic. Then click Create Shared Drive, assign it a name, and then click Create. The drive will appear under the Shared Drives tab in your Google Drive. Next, we're going to look at assigning shared drives. So you can add individuals, groups, like the mailing list that we had talked about earlier, to any shared drive. So the permissions that you assign will be very important. This is just to ensure that your documents are retained and used for their intended purposes. And as you can see here, we have a plethora of different permission settings that we'll explore momentarily. So with permissions and sharing, the first one we're going to look at is the viewer. So this is a perfect setting to use for sharing read-only resources. So this could be things like school handbooks, emergency procedures, master schedules with the broader staff or temporary staff. It ensures that information is widely accessible, but remains completely secure from unwanted edits. The next tier up is the commenter, so it allows users to leave helpful notes on shared documents without altering the original work. After that, the next tier up is the contributor. So most staff could hold this role so they can actively collaborate on lesson plans or upload new resources. It just empowers them to build content together and then preventing accidental deletions or restructuring of the main drive folders. And then the next tier up after would be your content manager. So an example of this would be lead teachers who need to organize various folders if they're curricular focused or procedural folders, and then also to help clean out outdated materials. So they keep the drive structured and uncluttered so other staff can access it and navigate it easily and to find what they need essentially. And then last but not least, we have the manager status. So in a school, this role is best suited for principals or leadership teams who oversee the entire drive and control staff access. So they're going to be the people that ensures that the drive settings align with your school's or DU's current staff, provide thoughtful access to staff connected to but may not be assigned to that school, and of course, manage membership as staff come and go. To better understand some of the other granular settings for permissions, as the manager of the shared drive, you basically hold the keys to the castle. So take a look at the gear icon highlighted in red on the screen. Clicking this gear opens clicking this gear opens up your overarching security settings. And these are going to be important for protecting division data. So for example, if you are setting up a shared drive for sensitive documents or data, you'll want to uncheck Allow People Outside of EPS to Access Files. You can also use the bottom checkboxes to prevent viewers from downloading or printing documents. So as an example, let's say you have a supply teacher who's coming into your school for a short period of time but needs temporary access to some of these files. They could easily access the document and read it, but they wouldn't be able to print a physical copy to take home, thus giving your school or DU a high level of control of how your data behaves. So then comes to the part of, oh, well, maybe I've created a shared drive by accident, or maybe I haven't used a shared drive in a long time that's been given to me. I might need to access it later, but I don't need to see it all the time. So we'll have a quick conversation about deleting and archiving Google Shared Drives. So when you've created your drive, you can share your drive using the same processes outlined earlier within with the folder explanation shared earlier. But you'll see in the right-hand graphic, there are 3 dots that stack on top of one another. We call that the snowman. So you can find the snowman on the right-hand side of the screen. Here you can do a couple of different things. You can share your drive, you can archive it, or you can even delete it. Archiving is going to be very helpful for you when you want to keep the drive but may not want it in your immediate periphery. So if you click on the snowman followed by hide the drive, it'll go into this automatic archive. And then at the very top of the right-hand graphic, you'll see in a red box, hidden share drives. By clicking the hidden share drive above, you can find all of your archived drives. Then comes deleting. So this will be useful for owners who of shared drives who create them accidentally or may no longer have a need for them but retain the ownership of them. So if you are deleting a drive and you serve as the manager, the owner of it, it's a best practice to just remove all of the users from the drive before it's deleted. So with that being said, folks, that's a wrap for today's quick after-school tech tip. Thank you for joining me today in our exploration of Google folders and shared drives. I hope you found today's after-school tech tip video helpful. For more information, please contact the TIPS team or visit tips.epsb.ca. To stay updated on upcoming after-school tech tip videos, please subscribe to the channel.